Hi, welcome to another edition of Route 66, where we're going on a road trip through the 66 books of the Bible, or really taking a big look at the Bible. This is just an overview, and we're not even looking at any of the passages yet. We're not looking at any of the books yet. That will happen somewhere down the road, down the route that we travel. But for right now, we're really looking still. We're kind of just kind of chugging along, getting ready for the journey, and looking at some of the background stuff that we need to know about this thing we call God's Word. So today, you can title this episode, Good Penmanship, Please. Good Penmanship, Please. Because one of the questions that we often get asked is, how did we get the Bible? And it's important to point out that we don't have any of the original writings of biblical texts, Jewish or Christian. No first printings, no limited editions, certainly no autographed copies. No one has an autographed copy of the book of John, autographed by John. You don't have the Revelation autographed by John from Patmos. We lack the original materials that they were written on, usually papyrus, made from tall water plants of the same name, because they've deteriorated over time. That would make sense. Because photocopiers were in short supply 2,000 years ago, that means that the books that we have today that make up the Jewish and Christian Bibles had to be copied and recopied by hand to preserve them. And so, those people who took on that task had to take their time with exceptional penmanship so that we could see what we're getting and make sure that we get it right. And the popular notion that this continual copying means that the books we now possess are inaccurate, that's wrong. A lot of people will suggest, well, because it's been handwritten and copied and copied and copied and copied, there are now errors there. There's no proof to back up that argument, which is weak and silly and really superficial. And the people that make that argument simply make that argument because they just don't know and they just don't understand. Because in the case of the New Testament, for example, we possess thousands of handwritten manuscripts of the books that make up the collection, and allow scholars to go back and compare with a high degree of accuracy and scholarship what the earliest manuscripts said. And in addition, early Christian writers quoted the New Testament in their writings. And finally, from a very early dated period, the New Testament manuscripts were translated into a number of different languages. Each one of those give us the opportunity to go back and verify the reliability. So this whole idea that because it was handwritten, it's not like playing that game, that the old party game where you play secret, where somebody whispers something to someone else, and by the time you get to the end of the line, it's been changed. See, that's the biblical argument that those that want to criticize and critique will make. However, when you take time and look at the historical evidence, that's just not true. In the case of the Hebrew Bible, it's a bit more complicated, given the antiquity of the text involved. For example, the Hebrew Bible was written anywhere from 500 to 1,000 years before the New Testament. Another complication is that in contrast to the early Christian communities, Jewish communities kept tighter control over who could possess and control biblical manuscripts. And so scrolls were very valued. And there were scrolls and people assigned to keep and evaluate and hold and create, in essence, libraries of these scrolls. Jewish communities wanted to make sure that anyone who copied the text did so accurately. And so great care was taken. And yet, the quality control was extremely high in those communities due to the rarity of those scrolls. And so anything but sloppy penmanship and sloppy translations took place. It was the highest degree. And even when some of the great libraries were burned, it was discovered that because of these copies that had been made so meticulously and taken to other places, they were now sound and they could be trusted. All of that is radically important when you want to understand where the Bible came from. And knowing that the evidence suggests that the Bible is the most accurate book ever in publication. Not only is it the bestseller of all time, but its historicity and its accuracy goes without question. And it's there for scholars, real scholars, not hacks, not wannabes, but real scholars to look at and determine the validity of it. And then all of that gets blown up a little over 50, 60 years ago, when another amazing discovery took place. Discovery? The Dead Sea Scrolls. And next time that we get together on Route 66, wherever we are on the route, we're going to talk about the Dead Sea Scrolls and the impact that that discovery had on what we know as the Bible today. So, keep reading your Bible. You can trust God's Word. I'll see you somewhere again on Route 66.